Lifestyle, Weight Loss, and Wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is a cold, wonderful Tuesday morning.
So winter snuck up on us. I don't know where I've been sitting or what I've been expecting, if my heart was just in Florida or
why was your heart in Florida?
Remember. I know it's November. We base our seasons around when the Mustang is out and when we have to put it away. And I'm like, well, it's not winter yet because the Mustang's still sitting in our driveway. And it snuck up on us.
Yeah.
I had to drive in it yesterday. Did you get out?
Yeah, I'm a chauffeur now.
That's right.
Both of the boys are in something now, so I have to make sure that they're picked up and dropped off, and our road's still closed, so that's extra stuff we have to do.
Oh, your road is closed. Are they doing work on it or?
Yeah, there's a drain that they're trying to.
Lovely.
So now the cement has to set and settle because cars are going to drive on it, and then it snowed. So that's let's keep pushing this project.
Wow.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, that's hard. That's hard, especially when you have kids and you have deadlines and you have to be all of these places. Do you have to do it twice a day?
Oh, yeah. So Colin gets off. He has to be on the bus at a certain time, and then Silas is next. And then I have to do that all again in the evening, making sure, going to the end of the road and making sure they're off the bus safely, which is a good parent, which I'm like, they're old enough. Well, at least Colin's old enough to be able to walk to the house without me watching him. So we're going to try that today. But Silas will probably just make sure that he's off the bus safely.
I honestly can say as an empty nester, I don't miss those days. Mm-hmm. If I had to look back, the only thing I miss is the sound of the marching band. I loved that part of their life, but I don't miss that other stuff, car pickup lines. And I want to say that I'm supposed to miss it.
No, you did your job. You're fine.
I did a darn good job too.
Yeah, because now you're a Grammy, and now you get to do all the Grammy things. So you're in a new season, and I'm still stuck in this one.
No, you're not stuck. You're not stuck. You're enjoying it. And yeah. Good morning, Gary. It's good to see you this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, but it was stressful. And even the early mornings and then the weather. And I miss the sound of the band. That's what I miss. But yeah. New seasons are fun. And I think it's really important, even with our clients and our, and our coaching, to really instill and to really say, let's enjoy the season that you're in. I had a talk with a client about that Saturday about, it's okay to really enjoy the season you're in, especially when you've lost a lot of weight and you're enjoying it. The problem with that is getting stuck in that, I'm enjoying it, but I've got more to go. A lot of times we find, when we're working with clients, that can get you stuck in that of, okay, I can do better. I can make a bigger goal. And so, hey, guess what I did today?
What did you do today?
I went back to the gym.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my gosh. I walked in and he says, hey, Mary, how are you doing? It was a hard season for me. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard this summer. Building a program, living a program. When we do that, I go into this cave.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that I do because, you can't be split-minded when you're building a program because you're responsible for all of these people. And so, this round required you and I to do some massive testing and some massive data collecting. And So it required a little bit more than most.
Yeah.
And it also caused us to not question, but reassess the keto lifestyle. What do we really believe? Where do GLP-1s fit in? So it required a lot of questions. And my personality says questions are bad, and they're not.
They're not. I'm the opposite, where I question everything.
Question, you do, and that is a great part of our team. Because as well, although with this season we're in, I've had to come into your world a little bit. It was really weird. Your world is weird.
I think some of mine derives from the fact that I suppose I have trust issues, and I learned that through our addictions class that we had. And have. And I learned that when one has trust issues, you definitely don't just take everybody's word for it.
Right.
You've got to be like, okay, does that make sense? But I do it in a nice way where I don't disregard what you're saying. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Let me dive deeper into and develop my own thought on it. And I think that's what we have to do with our program, with our lifestyle, with what the outsiders are saying. Not outsiders, they're not outsiders, but people that have different mindsets than what we do. I think we have to pull in the data that we've collected, what we see, what we deal with our own clients, and we have to assess ourselves of like, okay, is this actually legit? I mean, that this idea worked for one of our clients, but this is working with multiple clients. So that's
our first program, for the first 6 years of this practice has been based around our journey.
Yeah.
And luckily for our clients, our journey worked.
Yeah.
I lost 130 pounds. You lost, 70 pounds. 70. I did it right this time.
I know.
I always give you a bonus 5.
Thanks.
But, I lost 120 pounds until I was going through my files and saw a doctor's report, and I was like blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was nearly 300 pounds. I was 275. And that.
And then I got to a point where I just stopped getting on the scale. So who knows what my weight was.
Right. Yeah.
And what is documented on the doctors or whatever. But I think we tend to do that when we feel desperate, when we feel like we're a lost cause and like, what's the point? We just stop wanting to see what our body is doing.
Right. Yeah. And when we see a client going off course and we see these caution signs come out about a month before they actually go off course. And that's one of the first things. They stop getting on that scale. They stop bringing in that accountability. They don't want to know, because deep inside, they know what's happening. But if they don't see it, then it must not be true.
Right.
And so who knows where we were.
Which is a great segue into what we were talking about today. Because by golly, in a couple of weeks, it's Thanksgiving. Did you know that? Isn't that dumb?
Yeah, it's dumb. So dumb.
And then it's just like what you experienced as well, like with kind of a season of not wanting to go put extra time into your gym times. It doesn't mean that you weren't doing the things. It was just that you weren't working on those muscles and you would put other things first.
Yeah, because I have the food instilled in me. Like there's just, as a food addict, a lot of people think, will I ever be healed from this? And I can say, yeah, you will. Some people believe you're once an addict, always an addict, same with the alcohol side of things. Are you always an alcoholic? Do you always have to say I am? And there's questions on that. But now, there's just things that just literally I've lost the taste for. I've lost, I've lost the desire for those things. And so we are in a season with our clients and with our future clients of, I might as well not try. Because I know the holiday season, I know the holiday season's coming up, and I just might as well not try. And every one of our journeys, as well as most of our clients who are all in, lose 20 pounds from now till Christmas. And so we really do a push because you and I get busy in January. The gyms get busy. Actually, we get busy in March. March is our busy season because they tried the fad diets and they discovered, hey, I can't be at the gym every day. And hey, by February 18th, the New Year's resolutions are done. Yeah. And then we get busy after that because we're like, oh, okay. But we like to prepare people on this side and encourage you to not take that passive attitude and to really start to think, hey, I don't have to live like I don't have to have the attitude of an obese person of not caring what we eat, through the holidays, but in the same breath, still enjoying it. If I have a client who will message me and say, I want to become a part of your program, and they tell me, do I have to give up all the foods? Life, and I still want to eat. And I don't want that client. That client is not ready for me. I want a client coming to you and me saying, I am so frustrated with my weight. I am willing to do anything you say. And then our job as coaches is to say, well, guess what? You don't have to give up this stuff. You don't have to give up all of that stuff. We're tweaking how we're making it, but you don't have to do that. But if a client says, I don't want to give up anything, I still like my noodles, I still like my gravy, they're not ready for us yet. And so that is what we do this season. I see Darcy's frozen a little bit, so I'm going to still keep talking. There, you're still frozen on my side. There you go. You came back to us. So that's what we're going to talk about today is, I don't understand. I put this on focus. Do not understand that. Is how to get through the holiday season, and lose weight and get healthy and start your journey. Get 20 pounds ahead of the January people, right? You can get 20 pounds ahead of them. And for me, the first thing in that process is what I just said. I will do anything that it takes. I'm putting myself into your hands, Coach. I am so desperate. I will do anything that it takes. When you get to that point, I can almost see down the road for you that, hey, come January, you're going to be 20 pounds lighter. When we see that. And you and I, we hear from those people every day. Yeah. And they do the things. We've got a couple of our clients, they've crossed the 100-pound mark, and that's what they did. They came to us and they said, anything it takes, Coach. And then your and I jobs becomes difficult or challenging or exciting when we say, you know what, you don't have to give up the yummy stuff. We talked about the green bean casserole last night, in group. So what would be your next thing when we talk about getting through the holidays and preparing yourself? First is mindset, right? You got to have that attitude. Now, and you can expound off of that if you want, or you can go on, whatever's on your.
Let me just bring out my trusty little information here because
all right.
I'm in the phase, and I kind of did a video yesterday on my page about having accountability and the importance of that, because through Zen, it's easy to shy away, to be snuggled up in your blankets when it's cold and not want to leave. And so I talked about, like, even if you have the mindset, so put on your gym clothes and essentially you already have them on. It doesn't matter what time, as long as you're able to go. But here's something that our Lily James Clear, one of these days we're going to
wait for this.
One of them, it says, this is about having an accountability partner. Knowing that someone is watching can be a very powerful motivation. So I remember your accountability when you started was through the Facebook. Like, you made your journey so viral, and you used it because you did not want to be a liar in a way. You want to be a liar to your public. So knowing that someone is watching is a powerful thing, and knowing that somebody's there, gym, waiting for you is another powerful motivation. If you don't follow through, perhaps they'll see you as untrustworthy or lazy. And And suddenly you're not only failing to uphold your promises to yourself, but you're also failing to uphold your promises to others. Now, I think it's easier for us to break our promises to ourselves and be flaky, but we have such a motivation to make sure that other people don't see us as such. That's why he mentions, like, that's why we wake up in the morning and we get dressed. We do our hair. We put our makeup on. We cover our things like that because we care what other people think. Unfortunately, like it's great to get to a mindset where you don't care what other people think about you. And I think we preach that, especially to our kids.
Yeah.
But just the idea of it's still instilled with us for most of us. So I'm not going to talk for everybody out there because they're going to be out. You're going to be like Mark, where Mark's. I mean, I love how confident he is and who he is, but he didn't just get that overnight. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
But he also sees the importance of others. Like he sees that others are very important to him.
Yeah. Well, it's like two things at once can be true. And I think that's what you're saying is two things at once, they can be true.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're always, on a side note, I also highlighted, we're always trying to present our best selves to the world. I mean, all of those videos that we're watching, all those reels that you're sucked into and wishing and hoping, oh, I want my house to look like hers, or I want this for, they have such a good life because they're documenting only the highlights of what they do. They might get dressed and then go back to bed if they don't have that accountability, if they know that nobody's really watching them at home, so they can hide. And I think that is where the untruthful portion of ourselves can highlight and become a boss of ourselves. So if we have the focus of, I really care for this person, they have this mindset to get strong. I want to, they inspire me. And I think that's important. Like you can be inspired by somebody enough to work towards that goal, to work towards not to be them, but to be the better you. Like, I think that's really important on why we should have accountability.
Yeah. And the same, there's goods and bads of everything. And the same can be true if you surround yourself with people, say, who are unhealthy or don't have that, that desire to get healthy, or who are jealous. Or so if you surround yourself with those kind of people, it can have the same effect as when you surround yourself with people who are in the same boat.
Yeah.
So the accountability that you bring into your life does matter. That's why our people who show up every Monday for our weight loss support group, those people are doing 100% better than those who don't show up, because and we always caution that just because people are in group, everybody's in a different season, it does not mean they have it all put together. And so as coaches, we are very careful of saying this almost every session we have, is just because somebody looks like they have it put together in here doesn't mean either they've been through what you're going through and they've conquered it, or the silence could mean a lot. It could mean, hey, I want everybody to think I'm okay, but I'm really not. And so we really push.
Masks are a real thing. Yeah, they're a real thing. And for some reason we feel like those masks are making us and creating us to be okay. And even though, like, we can build upon so many different types of masks where they're so layered and thick, you don't really unearth or how important you are to society and to maybe that other person that needs accountability. Maybe they're struggling too. But as long as you have that mindset, I think that you talked about at the beginning, that mindset that I need to improve myself. I need to focus on how to be a better me, because I know I'm capable of being so much more.
Right.
And I think that's what we help our clients and ourselves bring out of. I mean, we struggle. You talked about your whole season of struggle going to the gym. Like, that is real. So being real would probably be another side, like a third thing that I would say, having the mindset, having accountability, and also being real with yourself.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about masks. A lot of time in the natural tendency, even with the weight loss support group, is you do see a ton of masks in there. You see
Oh, yeah.
people putting on a mask that I'm okay or I'm not okay, so I'm not going to say anything. The coaching, the combination of the coaching and group is so valuable because you and I, when we sit with clients all day long and we listen, you and I have the privilege of seeing the mask come off.
Yeah.
Because they're real with us. Whereas when you go to group, you can hide in group. You can hide in church. You can hide in group. And you see a lot of masks in there. And it's our goal and it's our desire to have a safe place in our Monday night groups that those masks come off.
Right.
And those are our best sessions. And
Yeah.
you and I can see when the masks are coming off in group. It takes one brave soul to take her mask off or his mask off in group. One brave soul. And then once that happens, then you see, okay, everybody else, okay, I can take my mask off. It's safe in here. But when we sit one-on-one with clients, and that's why, you know, when we were going through the season of, hey, we got to make this program affordable. Like, you know, we're dealing with a lot of hits from the outside as a natural health coaching practice. And so we got to make our program more affordable. Well, I knew when I did that, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Because you and I have so much success when we meet one-on-one with clients. We know what works. We know that weekly accountability, it works. That's when we see the 100 pounds fall off because of that very thing of no masks allowed in our one-on-one. And we have ways when we send a preliminary form before our session, we send them a form up because I want to get inside their head before the meeting. That is a very natural way because when somebody's alone behind their keyboard, they are more vulnerable that way. And so they can send that form to us. We can get inside their head before their session. And if they try to put a mask on in that session, which they do, right? If they try to put a mask on, we can go back to that note and say, hey, you mentioned this. Let's tease this apart a little bit. Let's talk about what did you mean when you said this? So we're able to kind of hold their hands while we take their mask off for them. And that's the value. That is the value of the intense coaching that we do. And that's why when I took that away and we went to once a month meetings, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Sure, it's affordable. However, the results that we see are not the results we see when I can sit with you once a week.
Right.
You know, and I understand. We tell them when they sign up for this program, because I understand finances are an issue right now. We let them know, here's how it's going to work for you. Here is what you do to make this successful. Your butt is in the seat every Monday night. Every Monday night. You don't miss session for anything. Unless it's an emergency. You're there and you meet with your coach once a month. Those people are being successful. The ones who say, oh, I'm too tired, or, oh, I don't want to show my vulnerabilities to people. Those people don't lose a pound. And I can say that with confidence. Have you seen that on your side, Darce?
Oh, absolutely. Not only do they not lose a pound, but they're not mentally healing themselves either. They're keeping those masks on and they're like the whole rug, like sweeping things under a rug and, oh, I'm going to deal with it later. I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it later. And then once you know, when I've done this with my couch, okay, I've got two boys that, you know, once you think you're sweeping around the couch and you're doing the things until something gets lost in the couch and then you have to put your hand in the couch cushion. I'm not like, don't deny that this has never happened to you. Unless you're a clean freak, then maybe that's a part of your regimen, but it's not mine. I've got two boys. And when you stick your hand in that couch cushion, not only do you find the things that they were looking for, you find the other things that they're looking for. You might find money, but they're broke. You definitely find wrappers and stuff like that, or their socks. You find this garbage that has been buried under there, just slipped into that couch cushion. And then you're like, oh, this is lovely. Like I'm sitting on a bunch of crud. Like this is great. And I think that's what we do when we are not only avoiding that accountability, but we're avoiding working on the mental side of why we got to where we got. Yeah. Why did we get overweight in the first place? It's not necessarily because of the genes. It could be. Everybody has a story. But I mean, essentially for me, I became an overwhelmed mom of young mom of 2 boys that know when that baby weight did not come off right away. And so I got discouraged, and then there's like the postpartum stuff, depression, all of those things start to build up, and there might be something in the way back and when with the trauma that may have had something happened back in the day that you have not dealt with. And that carries on for years. It doesn't just go away.
And this is why Ozempic doesn't work. Okay. This is 100% why when you get on a weight loss shot, and we do work with clients on them, on the weight loss shot, but we're able to walk with them through this very thing, because when you're on the weight loss shot, and it's frustrating because you and I have already been down this route. And so we've already experienced that healing.
Yeah.
You cannot lose weight. Again, somebody will prove me wrong, but the majority, you cannot lose weight if you do not heal body, mind, and spirit. Because like Darcy said, last week we had a band and an orchestra reference. This week we have a couch reference. And it's so funny that you say that, because my daughter just moved out and she took our couch. When we moved that thing out and turned the couch over, I was like, what in the world? And so when you go through the program and you choose, let's say you choose a GLP-1, that weight falls off so fast, temporarily. Again, I'm not apologizing for saying that word. It is temporary weight loss unless you're on it the entire life, okay? But when it falls off so quickly, your body is changing, but that's the only thing that's changing.
Yeah.
You don't have time to heal mentally. You don't have time to heal the body, or you don't have time to heal the spirit and the emotions. And you don't have time to heal the relationships. You don't have time to do that the three-legged stool healing, body, mind, and spirit. And there's a fourth leg, and that's the social part. You don't have time. And so when you don't heal those other things, the weight comes right back. And so you lose it really fast. That's why people look sunken in. They have the Ozempic face. That's why we can spot them a mile away, right? It is so fast that you're not healing those other things. What we do as coaches is we work with you on healing those things, even with the people who have chosen the GLP-1. When a client of mine comes to me on a GLP-1, I'm not focused on weight loss. I'm focused on those other 3 legs. I'm focused on, what are you going to do when you come off of this? What are you going to do socially? What are you going to do spiritually? And spiritually has a big portion of it.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a person of faith, because we're all spirits, right? We all have that, regardless of your beliefs. We work with the nitty gritty, and it's actually harder work when we work with a client on the GLP-1, because those things are hard to work with. 10% of what Coach Darcy and I do in our everyday sessions is calories and what you're eating. 90% is the body, mind, and spirit. It's the spirit and the mind, and the social. Right. Social is a big part of it.
Right. I would say, when you have a weight loss like that, and we can get this when our clients, when they first start and they are losing, 30 pounds by, in 3 months, like that's great. Like that's amazing. But it's also giving you that instant gratification of feeling good about yourself, which boosts your confidence, boosts things about how you carry yourself, which is great. But that's like a small snippet of what needs to be healed. And it's kind of like this dopamine that you get when you are seeing that instant gratification of weight loss, and you can finally wear those jeans that you've been trying to wear, or feel a different way. And I think that is just like you said, it's like 10% of your whole weight loss journey, because when you have the weight loss involved and that dopamine in your brain, it's like that dopamine build. We have clients, I'm not naming names, like I've seen it over the years, over the 6 years that we've been a company. Like I've seen when a client can hit their goal weight, and they're just so focused on what the scale says that they're not working on anything else.
Yeah.
They are going to now be missing the foods that they haven't had. Maybe they're tired of, if they were weighing their food on a scale, like for like the hardcore, they have all that hard work that they've put into it and focus so much on the scale that then when they hit their goal weight, they're like, okay, now I'm here. Now what? And then there's life that just hits where now there's, grandma might be in the hospital. At the same time, they've got, they have to be a chauffeur for their kids at the same breath. So there's so many things that then go up and take up all of these things in your life, this chaos that we talk about all the time. Chaos doesn't go away at all. You give, as you're losing that weight, as you are changing your lifestyle, as you are focused on the mental and the emotional and the social portion of your journey, you're able to balance so much better, and you can appreciate your weight. You can appreciate all the hard work that you've done. I love wearing the CGM because it is helping me appreciate all of that hard work that I've put into my journey. That I'm like, you know what? I just am allowing my body to work the way it should be working.
Yeah.
And with that instant gratification, you're more likely as a client or as a person, not even as a client, but somebody who's lost 100, 200, 300 pounds, you're more likely to go backwards and go back and gain all that weight back. Versus when you have had that mindset of like, I'm not going back. I am so determined to keep this body healthy. I am so determined because I have gotten rid of all this other garbage. I've swept out of my couch, and now I feel like there's no more dust bunnies in there. There's no more crumbs. I've emptied it all out to now I can live my life and then also maybe influence other people around me to do the same thing. Yeah. So when you have the instant gratification versus...
Well, you remember when I lost the weight, I had 3 months of feeling sexy and excited and happy and euphoric, buying the new clothes. It was 3 months. After 3 months, I became average again. That is when people regain the weight, when they become average and when they become and not healing that inner side of things of this is why I did it, So that's what the Ozempic folks are finding too. They're feeling great. They're feeling excited for about 3 months. Then what they say is I'm stopping the shot, which if you take Ozempic, it's lifetime, right? You cannot stop taking that shot. And that's fine if that's the choice that you're making. If that's the path you're taking, that's fine. Just expect it. Don't stop taking the shot when you start to feel sexy and good again and your life is transformed, because at the end of that 3 months is when the weight, and actually with Ozempic, it is actually, I talked with a person last week and it's 30-pound regain within a month. So I wish I could say it's wait till that 3 months, but it comes back raging. So make your choices very carefully. When you go into this, say, okay, it's a lifetime for me. I'm going to take this for life. Can you get off of it? Yes. We have built a program to show you how to get off of it very carefully, but it takes a minimum of 4 months to do that before you stop the shot. So just know that that's a side note right there, because that's when Coach and I come in and say, okay, let's work on the hard stuff. Losing weight was easy, super easy. Hard stuff starts. When your husband, Mark, asked us, we were talking, we had a business meeting. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but when we had our business meeting of, how do we as natural weight loss coaches survive, this GLP-1 fad? What do we do? And he's like, because everybody has a product to sell. Even the naturopaths have a product to sell. We have no product to sell. Zero.
Right.
He's like, well, what are you selling? I mean, that's still in my head. What are we selling? And we don't sell a product. We sell freedom. But people don't understand what freedom means until they're on the other side. So it's still a marketing problem that we have, because people don't care about freedom until afterwards, They don't,
if you're not experiencing freedom and you're chained and bound, you don't experience, but all those things that are binding you equal the chain links that are keeping you away from that freedom.
For sure.
It's bound to something else. And I picture, all of the things that bind you, whether it be family, whether it be, insecurities that you carry for years, whether it be, work, expectations of what people think of you. All of those things are, bound to a rock. And then freedom, like this door of like understanding of what your body is capable of, the feelings that your body can do naturally. And it's just like the hairline away, and you can't reach it until you let go of one of those,
Right.
or both of them. And the more you let go, the more you get closer to that freedom door. You're still not there, but you're still, and you have to be able to let go of all of those things that bind you. And so when you talk about the word freedom, freedom means more than just the word freedom. Freedom means being able to spend time with your family in a healthy way, taking time to self-care. All of these words, self-care, family, balance.
Well, for me, it was for me, and this is not a good thing, by the way. This is not a good thing. You shouldn't skip the gym for 3 months, right? But a part of that freedom for me was that my eating was under control. And I knew during that season of my life, when I couldn't leave my office, I had to pour 100% of my brain cells into a program rebuild. Freedom to me was, I'm not gaining any weight back. Now, did I lose muscle? Yes. So it's not a good thing, but because my abs are built in the kitchen and I didn't waver from that, I didn't let the stress get, it impact my eating. I didn't gain any weight during that season. Again, not a good thing to miss. Building muscle, especially for a perimenopause woman, is a good thing. But that's freedom to me. If I didn't have to worry that weight was coming back because I'm living in freedom.
Right.
But like, you're right. The childhood traumas, there are so many things. Addiction. We're not losing the addiction factor of our program based on a CGM, right?
Right.
The CGM is not going to fix an addiction problem. It gives you a lot of insight into it. We got work to do when it comes to food addiction and sugar addiction, right?
Yeah. It still binds me. I mean, as simple as something like, so I do the hormonal refeed to balance this hormone still. And so those are the times when I would have dried mangoes. I have such a liking to whatever these dried mangoes are. It's a health food. And I've said this before. It's a health food. It's, a whole food, has no sweetener on it. But yeah, I crave it. Like there's still, like when you let yourself let your guard down and think, oh, I'm fine. I can say no to donuts. Yeah, I can easily say no to donuts. But then there's another thing that still boosts your insulin with these mangoes. Like your body's still accepting these whole foods with lots of fructose and like natural sugars. They still respond to if you were eating a Snickers bar. Like your body doesn't know the difference. So that addiction is the same. Like when you find something that that lights that dopamine up, you cannot let yourself be unguarded. You always have to have things in moderation. And you have to learn that, because the moderation doesn't come and with this is how you use moderation welcome package. It's just like it's definitely something that's learned. It's like the atomic habits. Like that is what you have to do. You have to work for it.
Right.
So that's,
Yeah, it's a learned thing. And honestly, people come to us and they're seeing their friends on the shot and they're seeing how fast they're losing weight. And that's really hard for us coaches to assure that our clients that, hey, pound a week is good because you're going to keep it off, right?
Yeah.
And so moderation is directly weaved into the addiction factors. There's some clients that can eat an apple and they're fine. The CGM says they're fine. There's some like myself who, if I have an apple, I'm going to have 10. And that is always in me. And so it's not like a diet where you can say, okay, now you can eat the apples. For me, not for everybody, for me, it's going to create a stairway back to my addiction. And so will I ever have an apple? Yes, but I am going to go into it with the fact that, like I did with the addictions of, okay, when I have this, I'm going to get raging cravings. I'm going to want more. And I have to have boundaries and barriers in place. For example, I wouldn't go in this family, I wouldn't go and buy a 10-pound bag of apples. I never buy things in the produce area and you put your own, you pick them out. I just buy the bag, right? And after raising four kids, you learn to buy things in bulk. At this point, if I decided to put an apple in my lifestyle, I would go to the store, I would buy one. That's all I would have in my house. So I still have those fences tall,
Yeah.
even with a little bit of freedom that the
Yeah.
CGM brings me.
I think,
So,
well, you mentioned the difference, what things make us different, and different influencers out there. Like we are speaking to people, not everyone, because we were talking about Jillian Michaels and how she is, her whole thing with the Ozempic. She's against Ozempic. She, you told me that, I haven't watched the video because I couldn't find it. But when I do, I'm going to understand that, the thing that separates that coach from us is the fact that she has never walked in that obesity world. She's always been in a mindset of moderation and, exercise and healthy eating. But she's never had that mindset of ours where, we face that addiction. We face the challenges of a relationship with food, a healthy relationship with food.
Yeah.
And we want to build that healthy relationship. And you see it in those young girls that are looking around to all those little stick figures that have never hit puberty yet. And they're so tiny, and and then this girl's yet developing early. So they have this mindset, oh, I'm overweight, I'm fat, I'm going to start to begin this eating disorder.
Yeah.
So there's so many fine lines between coaches that are like, oh, just work out in the gym, eat these carbs, you're going to burn it off, blah, blah, blah.
They've never experienced addiction.
Right. So we have there, I believe that they're not wrong, but we're not wrong either. There's two different mindsets. There are personality differences. There's things that affect, but unfortunately for them, I think there's majority of our mindset type of people in America where we have this addiction, and we may not have acknowledged it yet.
Yeah, you all you have to do is look at the obesity record and look at the people around you. There's not very many people who look like Jillian Michaels. There's just not.
Right.
That she was born in the gym. She's never had a metabolic issue. And I can stand with her and agree with her on so many issues. But when she is talking about, hey, keto is the devil, or carnivore is the devil, or everything in moderation, she does not understand the addiction factor.
Right.
And that's okay. That's not her lane.
Right.
That our lane is not moderation. And that's okay that we have those two, that we can agree on a lot of things. Like when you become an Ozempic customer, you're a lifelong customer. They're making billions of dollars off of you. We can agree on that. But we can also say, you know what? Our niche is those who struggle with food addiction. Our niche is those people who can't give up and maybe have to choose to battle their sugar addiction. That's our lane, and that's okay. And we can coexist in the space together, where I can stand up and cheer for her when she understands the science behind what's happening to all of these people. But then also say, you know what? We have food. We have clients that wrestle with emotional eating addiction. We have clients who wrestle with chemically being addicted to sugar. And we can do the same thing. We can be in the same space.
Yeah.
I won't be in the same space as those people who, who say you have to lose weight on a product. I will not stand in their space. You don't need a product, guys. You really don't. So that's how you get through Thanksgiving. You've got to have that can-do attitude. You've got to be so disgusted with how your life is going that you're going to say, hey, I'm ready. I don't want to wait for January. I don't want to wait, for other people. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say I'm worth doing this.
Yeah.
And again, from now until the first of the year, you can lose 20 pounds. You totally can. And you can lose 20 pounds without feeling deprived. And it is possible. We've seen it. We have the stats to prove it. We've got the data behind it, and it's possible. But you got to want it.
Yeah.
Don't come to us until you want it.
Yeah.
Because we're going to give it to you.
I would say, because I would like to touch a little bit more about accountability and what to expect with somebody. And you mentioned it a little bit about, being careful about who you are choosing to have to be your accountability. But what does it look like to carry this accountability partner when you have Thanksgiving or when you have family events and they're not around?
Yeah.
Setting up a plan with your accountability partner and knowing that, hey, these are my goals. This is what I expect.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to check on me.
Yeah.
Like, this is a high risk situation where I am alone with family that likes to try to feed me apple pies. Mm-hmm. And I need to not have that apple pie. So what does that look like? I want you to sit down with that accountability partner, and they are hard to find. Let me just tell you.
Don't get a yes man.
No, like, you need to, well, yes, yes and no. Don't get a yes man. That was tricky. But sitting down with them and saying, I need this from you. What do you need from me? And don't just take from this accountability partner. Give as well. Because if it's a take, that's where that's why it's hard to keep an accountability when they're constantly feeling like they are needing to be your babysitter. Mm-hmm. You need to prove to them that I am wanting to do this. These are my weak spots. I do tend to be needy. So what can I do for you? How can I help you with your goals that you have set for yourself? And make sure that you follow through with that. That is what a give and take, good accountability works, and how it works. So go ahead.
When you find your accountability partner, don't scream at them when they hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Give them permission to speak. When I say yes, man, I mean those people who are afraid to say, hey, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because a lot of people are scared to do that, especially if you're working with a spouse. We don't recommend that at all.
No.
And we teach you how to work with your spouse, because there's certain things that you both have to agree to. Mm-hmm. Don't get all huffy with them when they ask you, are you supposed to be eating that? Or is this on your plan? Or, you can say, I want an accountability partner, but then you can abuse your accountability partner. And that's not a healthy situation to be in. So you have to, and that's why I like the coaching so well, is because Coach Darcy and I have big shoulders. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care if I offend you. I don't care if you don't feel good and you feel like, hey, that was not a great coaching session. I don't really care, because my position is, now there's times that we hug our clients, but we tell you the truth. And that's why you hired us. And so that's why it is much better to have an outside accountability partner that you've got to meet with every week, because you can bring offense into it. You can bring hurt feelings into it. You can have a bad attitude with your accountability partner and lose relationships over them. I've seen it happen. Whereas we don't care. We're going to give you truth regardless. Now, are there sessions that we have to sit with you and process and hug you? And do we have empathy? Absolutely, because we walked where you were walking. The majority of time, we're telling you what is going to work. And there's times that I will just have to ask a client, I need to know your goals. If you want weight loss, then I got to be tough. If you want somebody to sit there and coddle you a little bit and you're okay with a diet pause, then that's what we're going to do. So sometimes we have to really readjust our goals with our clients on, hey, how fast do you want to get to your goal? Then let's buckle down and do it. And this is how you're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So this is how you get through Thanksgiving. With accountability, we have a bunch of sales going right now. Coach Darcy has a sale. I have 2 spaces that I'm going to do a buy one, get one free. I only do 2 because my schedule. And so we are going to have a lot of sales coming into the new year. We're going to, as soon as Darcy and I get back from our cruise, we have a challenge that we're going to run. We're working on that. We'll probably work on it on the cruise ship. What I think,
No. No work on the cruise
my
ship.
mind doesn't stop. So when you travel with me, I am on the pool deck in my swimsuit, working in my head. Even if I don't have a computer, I'm working. It takes me about 5 days to wind down.
And then that leaves us with a ride home.
I'm enjoying myself on the ride home.
Yeah.
I do sincerely force myself to decompress. And we have a 2-day drive down there, I think. I don't think it's that long.
No, it's not.
It feels like it. So I'll try to do all my decompressing on the drive to New Orleans. But if you're struggling right now and you don't want to wait for the January rush, do it now, because the cool thing about doing it now is we get to walk with you through the season and give you the tools that you need that you wouldn't have if you joined in the spring. We don't talk about Thanksgiving in the spring. We don't talk about how to get you through those family times. So that's the benefit of doing it now versus later, is you get that coaching in the fire. And that is really, really beneficial to our people.
I was going to say, even like we have an accountability that stays on you. So this is going to be all new, having this on Thanksgiving, seeing what we're doing, but also having grace, knowing that, we would, be trying other people's foods, but our Thanksgiving's different because most of us have, do keto.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that is such a great accountability of knowing what your body's doing and knowing that you shouldn't overdo it.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
I'm excited, Coach. I'm really excited for the cruise, but I'm excited. I'm excited about what's happening in our client base right now. I've got 3 amazing sessions coming up this afternoon, and I love opening their forms that they fill out. And then I love going over to their CGM and just looking at what their week has looked like. I love looking. I have 3 labs to look at today. And I'm so excited to look at those, because the labs that I'm looking at, the client has done at least 3 rounds with us. And so we're going to watch some numbers today. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. That is
so
awesome.
Yeah, we're here every Tuesday morning, guys. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were on time today. So that was kind of fun, right?
Yep.
And so again, if you are interested in any of our sales, just go to our Facebook page. We have them there. I did post the general website in the comments. We do have a podcast that we do each Tuesday, most Tuesdays. So head over to Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness, and go find us over there. I'm really excited because I'm going to bring a guest on here in maybe a couple months. I think her book comes out in December. But Dr. Vera Tarman is having a re-release of her Food Junkies book, and you can bet you we're going to have her on as a podcast guest, because I want to know what's changed. Yeah. I want to know all of the things. So super excited about that. Guys, if you struggle with a food addiction, a sugar addiction, a carbohydrate addiction, please know that you're not broken. Please know that it's not your fault. Please know that there is healing for that. And once you get that, and once you grab a hold of that healing, you have tools that are going to last you for a lifetime. So just know that you're not alone. A lot of times I felt so alone, wondering why I was the only one with this problem, when come to find out 1 in 3 of us is addicted. So It's good to see you, Coach. Your internet worked wonderfully today.
For the most part.
Yeah. I think you only froze up 1 time. So that's always a good day for us when that happens.
I'm always smiling, because who knows what my face is going to look like frozen.
I never thought about that. I need to smile more.
Yeah.
I really do.
Mom taught me that.
Who taught you that?
Mom.
Oh, she doesn't smile a lot, does she?
Yeah, so when she's out in public, if you've ever watched her, she's always got a smirk on her, not a smirk but like a smile on her face.
In case she gets frozen. Okay.
Well, yeah, she gets frozen.
It's good to see you, Coach and sister.
Yes.
We'll talk to you in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.